Hello, I'm Regina Lux, and this is Veritas on the Rocks. My video last week was about how to be a good parent. I gave you my secret sauce answer about how the most important things in this order are they safe? Are they loved? And do they know they are loved? Since the third question can be so tricky, I wanted to give parents some practical ways to show their children their worth so they can more easily calm their own spirits and rise to be the best parents they can be for their children. The good news is that the hardest part of showing your child their worth is slaying the dragons within yourself in order to be virtuous for your child. Taking on your rage, impatience, laziness is all extremely important to being a good parent. What does that look like? A lot of parents have an issue with rage. When your child knows you are angry, it greatly affects them. They might wonder if it was them who upset you, and if it was, they will subconsciously question their worth. Now, does that mean you can never get mad at your kid? No. But it does mean controlling the ways which you respond to them. In my last video, I spoke about the proper way to discipline a child. All discipline should be done in love. That is very, very, very difficult when our normal reaction is to yell at the cause of the current issue. However, think about a work environment. When you mess up, do you want your boss to yell at you? No. You want him or her to excuse themselves, cool off, and then come back and have a conversation where they treat you like a human being worthy of dignity. Guess what? Kids need the same. And if you don't give that to them, they are going to think it's normal for people to yell at them and treat them poorly out of their own emotional instability. It's also important to teach your child to calm their own spirits before dealing with an issue where they are particularly emotional. This is a behavior they will learn and apply with their spouse, which in turn will show their own children how to properly address others in situations when they are upset. See? It's a full circle. But I want to give you guys a list so this video is easier to digest. And all these things apply to teenagers as well. First, only discipline in love. If you are a spanking family, you will find that when you calm yourself down, there is less of a desire to spank your child. Hitting your child out of anger is never okay. It does teach them that it is acceptable for others to hit them and for them to hit others. Second, the older your child gets, the more they understand that their body is theirs. We graduate from having to do everything for a child to them being able to do everything for themselves in a few short years. Sometimes we forget that we stop being in charge of our child's body. This is why it is very important to teach your child healthy boundaries. Your child's body is theirs. It is not yours. Therefore, it is not okay to physically push yourself on your child if they do not want it. Teaching your children that they must hug others, touching your child when they don't want it, making them be naked in front of you, all reinforces that their thoughts and feelings about the situation don't matter, and that their body exists for others. Once again, not a good lesson for children to learn, especially for girls. It is important to respect your child's body. When your child learns that you respect their body, they will respect their own body more. The desire to rebel against parents in this way will diminish, and they will learn that their bodies are respectable. They will be less likely to allow someone to touch them whom they do not want to touch them. They will be less groomable. Third, as soon as babies are born, they seek out whether or not they can feel safe and secure. A way to make your child feel safe and secure is to smile when you see them. When people feel others are pleased to see them, even when they are at their best, it changes them. It affects their mood in a positive way, and it also reinforces that you love them, no matter what you or they are going through. Greeting your child in the morning with a smile is so important. It will also set the mood for their day. Fourth, treating everything they tell you as if it is very important. Now, this does not mean patronizing them, but if you don't want to listen to them about the small things, they won't go to you about the big things. Suffering through your child telling you uninteresting things will matter a lot more later. They grow to understand that you are their safe space, whom they can tell anything to. Fifth, Teaching your child boundaries when it comes to their body is very important, but also teaching them the boundaries you have is valuable as well. Too many parents feel like they are failing as parents when they aren't constantly available to their children. The fact is that stopping whatever you are doing for your child teaches them that nothing you are doing is important. That's not to say that they aren't more important, but children also need to learn to respect others and their space and privacy. I will tell my children that from this time to that time, it is my time, and they need to respect that. If you drop whatever you're doing constantly for your child, you will grow in resentment. Yes, you will. They also don't learn to respect other people's boundaries, which you notice a lot of adults don't understand. Do not teach your child that you exist to be at their beck and call. You don't. You are your own human being who deserves your own recharge time, and raising people who acknowledge that will make society a little bit better and a little less self-absorbed. 6. Learn your child's love language and relate to them in it. The love languages are physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time spent, and giving gifts. I have 4 children who have 4 different love languages, and when I go out of my way to love them in their specific love language, they become a little bit more mushy. They feel validated, and I've reinforced that they are important to me. 7th, when they make mistakes, remember your own mistakes. They dropped a whole cup of soda on the floor in public. Remember that time you did something similar and how embarrassed you felt? Do you think chiding them for their mistake is going to make them feel better? The best way to deal with mistakes that your child makes is to try to comfort them. And the first words out of your mouth should be, "It's okay. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes too." Humility. This will comfort your child so their emotional reaction isn't one of shame or lashing out in defense. Be their safe place. The veritas is that none of us are perfect, and it's important for your child to know that. It's important to know that you, too, make mistakes. It's important for them to hear you say that you're sorry when you make mistakes. 8. Vocalizing to your child what you like about them. It's important that they learn they are likable human beings. One fan, Rita, told me, "I cherish my time with my children, making it known to them individually what I love about them, their talents and virtues." When you explicitly tell your child the likable qualities they have, they will grow in confidence. Knowing that their parent enjoys being around them is so affirming. Another page follower, Bradley, said, "I never want my little girl to have confidence issues, antipathy towards God, or be desperate for male attention because she feels like her father didn't love her." Which brings me to my next point. 9. Tell your child you love them. Oh, of course, right? But what if you didn't always say it when you said it? What if your child caught you looking at them in wonder and smiling, admiring their mere existence? What if you held them and told them how lucky you are to be their parent and how great they make your life? What if you found other ways to tell them you love them that made them feel loved? In my last video, I said how broken children become broken adults. Your child will not be broken if they feel their worth. They will grow up confident, sure of their value, and less likely to allow others to treat them poorly. But the thing you must understand first is that you cannot encourage your child to grow in virtue and happiness if you are not virtuous yourself. That is why parenting is so hard. Parenting is a love that, while it can empty us, it also fills us. We must empty ourselves of pride and wrath and let our children fill us with calm and joy. When your child sees that they are a source of joy for you, everything changes. They value your opinion more. They desire to please you as opposed to upset you. Their reaction to you, their future spouse, and the world all begins with you. You show them what is valuable in the world. Fight this culture that children are simply accessories to their parents. Show them their value. This has been Veritas on the Rocks, igniting truth and logic. Now, boldly go.